Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Camberley Chess Club Tuesday evening Zoom meeting. We have an informal session this evening, and James Pratt is going to kick us off.
This is the only time that Nimzowitch and Vera Menchik played, and the game was played in Carlsbad, 1929. I should explain that Vera, they didn't particularly want her in the tournament, but in the end, they acquiesced. And although she didn't get many points, she had some good games. Nimzowitch, as we all know, having written the book My System, was quite an eccentric, and I speak as well myself. But he played 1e4, probably knowing that Vera would reply with the French defense, and indeed she did. So there we are. Now, Nimzowitch plays the advanced variation. This isn't that popular these days because it clarifies the structure perhaps a little bit too early, but it's certainly not unacceptable. Colin, do you agree with that?
Yes, yes, I do. I'd say that when I was playing the French defence, I used to get it quite regularly.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what the top level assessment is.
Well, my top level assessment would be that Black has nothing to fear, but he may be rusty playing against it because it's not that popular anymore. But, you know, anyway, here we are attacking the pawn base, according to what Nimzowitch wrote in his book. It's rather funny. The late Simon LeBlanc said to me that if you look at the game between Capablanca and Nimzowitch, the Caracan, that Capablanca beat Nimzowitch using the strategy laid out in Nimzowicz's book, which is a little bit ironic. Now, here we have a move which I don't think modern players, grandmasters, would play. This is very provocative. It's coming out to play, but not sure about this. And here, and now he plays to actually blockade the pawn as opposed to simply recapturing, which can be done. So, Vera would be on very safe ground here. She'd have known all this. When she was being coached by Gethamoroxy, I think it was him that put her up to playing the French, and she played it ever since. Some criticism about that move, knight g7. It says that Nimzowitch recommended hitting the e-pawn with queen c7. So hence, in my system, the overprotection. But I don't think it makes a great deal of difference. Castles. And pieces come trundling out. Again, more defense of the e-pawn. Now, what does Vera do next? She's not happy. She has to backpedal here. What do you think Black played, which isn't so great? Anybody? Gentlemen?
Castles doesn't look that great.
No. It certainly would have to be braced. I'm just looking in this book, which is New in Chess book, which is almost the complete games of Nimzowitch, which has this move.
H5?
H5.
Yes, H5 is the threat. So what's Vera going to do about it?
Oh, H5 for Black.
Oh, I see what you mean. After H4, Black hoped for knight b3 when he would set the board with knight c, g takes e5. I think they mean she. Anyway, Vera shuffled her bishop back.
Oh
dear.
They play h5. Where's the queen going?
G3 probably.
It's not got many squares, has it?
Hang on, Philip. Oh, I see what you mean. That's a thought. I'll write in and ask. Right. Well, Black has some semblance of order, but obviously it's up to the French defense player. And now we come with the preceding. So this is just in an effort to mathematically get back the pawn. And the queen comes to a sensible square. And here. They just say that bishop g5 was also an option. Fairly provocative, but I don't think that particularly threatened anything. Anyway, now we have some chopping of wood. And now here. And now a dreadfully committal move by Vera. Oh dear. I think I play A6 here. But she didn't. She played this.
Ooh.
Oh, look at her black squares. Even though she's got a bishop to look after them, who's been sent back to his diocese.
Maybe she's going to castle long.
Whoa. Well, Paul, I don't know if she castles at all. I'll let you into surprise. I don't know that she does. So here. Oh dear. Black defends quite adroitly. I can't even pronounce the word. Who can pronounce that word for me?
Adroitly.
Adroitly. But the loss of time can hardly be neutralized. I think they mean justified. I think that this translation is a bit funny. Right. And now here. Right. Well, I've also got this book by Robert Tanner, which is The Life of Vera Menchik here. So I've also got that game. Don't stop to scream. For a third time. It says, with mentors like Maroczy and indirectly Tarash, it is no wonder that Menchik was really comfortable in hypermodern genre. The closest she came was the occasional essaying of the King's Indian or Grunfeld. What on earth has that got to do with this? In this game, she faced Nimzowitch playing his own variation of an old line of the French defense. And I quote a book by Jack Spence, which I don't have. It's probably rubbish. Anyway, there we go. Rook G8. Whoa. And now the gloves are off. Look at that. And now Nimzowitch blunders. What do you think he played and shouldn't have done? For his 19th move, what did White do, which was not recommended? Sandy, did you just say?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to work this out.
Don't worry, so was Vera. They say that if Nimzowitch had played the right move, she was all but dead in her coffin, poor woman. They like Queen H3.
No.
And you're threatening to take on G6 and then move the Queen to H7, and the Rook is a bit compromised on G8. But Nimzowitch, seeking to overprotect the pawn, did this. Vera may have breathed a sigh of relief, though I don't know, and went here. And now here. This is an interesting idea because of the occupation of D4 with the square means that you can't actually control it. And I was teaching some juniors, one of them woke up when I said that, and they liked that very much. So I passed that one on to you.
I'm struggling to see, James, why Queen E2 is that much worse than H3. You know, to me, I think I would have gone for Queen E2 myself.
Let's look again. Well, if the threat is H takes G, Queen H7, and the Rook is
yeah, okay, yeah.
The Rook swims.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's to be honest, she is in a right old pickle, isn't she? This move threatens almost nothing. Escape the leader of the black squares. If she ever exchanges on D4, she'll be crushed by the F6 bishop. Well, oh, very nice. Oh, here we are. Here we are. And now she gives up her bishop, which of course she didn't want to do. Here. And here. Blockading again. But she can't take on D4, it says. Let's go back. She can't take on D4 because why?
I don't know. Why not?
Because of E6, of course.
Of course. I knew that, really. A voice from the depths say, after E6, the Queen can take on f6, it says.
Yeah, but then you take the bishop
Yes,
on
and-
D7.
And with check. Yes, indeed.
Treble check even.
Yeah. Triple check. Triple, maybe.
Triple check.
Triple check. Treble, I think, is something to do with singing.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go in with the rook. We,
Cards.
as Carl Foreman used to say to me, we barrel in with the rook. Dear, the king. And now a nice little move. What do you think White played here for guessing game, please, gentlemen?
Rook C1.
No,
B5.
no.
Queen C2.
Why would you play B5? Anyway,
Driving the Queen of Squares.
Queen C2.
no. My computer thinks you should, but
A4.
no.
Queen F3.
Yes.
Oh,
As usual, Julian, speaking from inside a fish tank, I always think. And now there's a sacrifice on D5 in the air. Look at this. And Vera, I'm sure, knowing that, took on here. And now, diagram. Woo. And Vera doesn't take it. Could she have taken it? My notes don't say, but I imagine she thought very long and hard before going here. So the bishop is still, the rook is still en prise. And now she did take it. Trying to heal up the black squares. And now, what do you think the next move was? I just love it.
E6.
E6.
No. This is my continual theme in my life. It's the move you don't think. This is why Nimzowitch was a better player than Mike Gunn or something like that. He played this.
Ooh.
Come on. And yeah, exactly. He's come back. And now Vera took on H5, an act of desperation. White had planned the nice move A4, and then going to play, as recommended by your good selves, Queen A3. I don't quite see that. That's as much provocation as inspiration. Anyway, she took that, and Nimzowitch shuffled across, and she defended herself. And now he played this, and she is powerless to resist. Rook E7 will polish her off.
Good finish.
This is also in Ray Keane's book, Our Nimzowitch Reappraisal. The last link in the dark square attack, writes Ray. Black is now held in a dark square vice. So there you are, one of Ray Keane's early books. Highly recommendable still. That's your lot.
yeah, good game.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
James, when did you mentioned that she got trained by Maroxy and so
Yes.
on. When did she reach her peak strength, let's just say? When did she
It's hard to know because, like,
because she seemed to go on forever.
yeah, she did. Well, she, as I say, she died so tragically during an air raid over Clapham in, I can't remember the exact year, 1940 or something. When did she reach her peak? I don't know, because most of the time she wasn't playing the strongest of players.
No.
You'd have to go through the book.
Fair enough. No,
I think she was always at about, it sounds very patronizing, but the same strength as, say, Jana Hartston in her time, or Harriet Hunt now, or Jovanka, 2400, but not maybe. I think she was too predictable. She played chess to get money to give, buy milk and sugar for her mother who lived with them. And when she died, the mother died, she died, and her sister died, all frightened to death in the cellar. So it was vile, but there we are. That's life. Or
Yeah.
death.
Who were the strong British men players of the time then?
Well, Yeats and Atkins were very strong.
Is it?
George Thomas, I touched upon.
What period was Gollenbeck?
Harry was, he would have been, he won the British Championships, I think 1948. So,
Okay.
and he got actually into the interzonal in 52 or 3.
Much later then.
I think the thing with Harry was he had other interests. But really, we didn't have anybody of any strength. I mean, Alexander was a strong player, but during the war, he did the code breaking, of course. And when he came back, he had that flash in the pan Hastings where he beat Bronstein. He also beat Botvinnik in 1946. It was only one game, but nevertheless, it was an amazing game. But we didn't have any strong players, not really, not until, you know, the dawn of Tony Miles and such like.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Around the 20s and 30s.
Well, I mean, there were players, as I say, there've always been players. If it isn't Staunton or Sultan Khan, as Bob Wade used to say, you know, the English haven't got any players; they have to borrow foreigners. And you know, as soon as Sultan Khan was here, he was playing top board, and Janowski was hit at university from Canada, and he played. You know, he won the British Championship. And Wade from New Zealand again in 52 and then in 1970. So Penrose was the only one that broke up the stream, really.
Alan Turing played chess.
Turing did play chess and knew Gollenbeck, which he never failed to keep on mentioning. But he only played to my level, not he wasn't the strong player. Had he been able to apply himself, maybe he would have got good, but I don't think that would have made him into a master.
He wrote a chess algorithm for playing chess.
Oh, did he?
He did what?
He wrote an algorithm.
Did he?
Yeah.
I read somewhere that he didn't understand why he wasn't a very strong chess player. He couldn't understand why all these other people at
That's lovely, isn't it? That's lovely.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have, because of his sexuality, he may have been oppressing his emotions. Possibly that's I don't know what the answer is, but that would be my guess.
I think he was quite busy during the war.
Not many.
What was he doing instead of looking at chess? I don't know.
Yeah, for God's sake. He should have.
Somebody should have told him to stop wasting his time. Yeah.
Yeah, all the code breaking. I mean, what do you think it is? A Mickey Mouse game?
Just imagine if somebody convinced him to play chess and concentrate all his time on chess, we'd all be speaking German.
Oh, don't say that. Well, it was Milner Barry, for goodness sake, who was a British master, that said, keep Turing. He went to see Churchill, literally, and Sean Talbot's mother was at, I have this first hand from Sean, or second hand from Sean, that Churchill said, you know, is this man intolerable? And Milner Barry said, yes. And he said, well, what do you think we should do about this? And Milner Barry replied, he must be made the boss, which is a mile away from what you expected him to say, which is get him out. But that's exactly what they didn't do. Anything else, gentlemen?
Just an enigma, really.
It's just an enigma variation. Have you all seen the film, the Imitation Game?
Yeah, brilliant.
Have
Got to watch it if you've not seen it.
And we've been to Bletchley Park.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this, it's highly recommendable. And they mention chess for 15 seconds and they get it wrong. They say that Alexander was twice British champion, which he was, but he won in 56 at Blackpool, which was after the war. And this is set during the war. So Wikipedia let them down.
Again.
So there we are again.
Was that one of the criteria of getting into Bletchley Park, though? A good chess player.
Well, I mean, the England team were in Argentina, Philip, for the Olympiad, and they qualified for the final, the A group. And they obviously knew that there was rumblings of discontent in Europe. How could they not? But they came home lickety split because George Thomas paid for them to get a flight out, or a boat. I don't know which boat. and Golombek went into the artillery, but they quickly found out he was blind as a bat, and made his way back to Bletchley, blah, blah, blah.
How do you remember all these things, James? And indeed, how do you know all of these things?
It's called a lifelong addiction. Philip, who's known me for many years, will John Upham the same, will say I've always been a pain in the ass. But the funny thing is that recently I have sort of come to my senses, but it's been very painful. But a lifelong interest, I suppose.
You read a lot, don't you, James?
Yes, I read a lot. Yes, I do.
But frankly, it's not just a lifelong interest and all that. You know, you are very good at it. You clearly remember things. You can put them in context. You've got, you know, phenomenal facts at your fingertips. I'm envious of your ability to do it in anything. So,
well, the thing is that I was never anything of a player. So it was Ken Harmon, who, a name you may not even know, I don't know, but he lived in Basingstoke, who was my mentor. So I became journalist as opposed to player. And I'm glad I did. But yeah, it's no great shakes. It's just simply what has interested me.
Very good. Well, I think I'm impressed, and I think many others are. So well done. Thank you very much for the game.
Yes, thank you, James.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, James.
All right, gentlemen. Can I just before I close the program, can I ask what you might like next time? I don't mean next week, but next time I appear. Is there anything particularly something completely different?
Good question. Good question.
Bronstein games.
I can come up with those, but
Just because, in my opinion, he was the strongest player never to be world champion.
okay. All right, then, in which case I will look for some Bronstein games and a bit of biographical
Do
stuff.
you have the Sorcerer's Apprentice, James?
Yes, I do.
Great games in there.
Yes. David, I knew him. Well, I didn't know him, but I met him a couple of times and we chatted. I'm no name dropper, as you know, but as I was only saying to Lev Polygevsky the other day, yeah. Bronstein just would talk to anybody, including himself. But he was a lovely man. And when he lost to Botvinnik, he was cut up and he wasn't really up to playing again at the very, very highest level. Anyway, yes, I'll look for some Bronstein games.
Well, I met him playing at Lloyd's Bank a couple of times.
That's right, he did. He used to piss everybody off. And Stuart Rubin said, if it wasn't for the fact that Bronstein was Bronstein, I wouldn't have him in the room. Well, he would come up. He would come up and say, my opponent is thinking about his moves and it's distracting me, or I need to go to the dentist. Yeah. He'd go on.
With Peter Lecco, who was only about 16 at the time, maybe a bit younger.
What did he say to Peter Lecco?
Well, I'm waiting for you to move.
Yeah, I mean, he was... he used to say, I mean, I'm sure this is true, that it almost seemed that the slow played games were an act of hypocrisy, because he said 99% of the moves have either been played before or they know in advance what they're going to do. So, you know, he said that wasn't the case in the 19th century when they would meet up in the divan and smoke cigars and drink black coffee and discuss, as Chigorin and Steinitz might have done, you know, what would you do here?
But some of his games were as brilliant as Fischer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bronstein would play to the crowd, whereas Fischer very definitely wouldn't. Yes, I agree with you. As I say, it was only, I think, he was so emotional. He was very great friends with Keres. And when the tournament was on in Tallinn, he rang up just to say, and all that Keres replied was, David, that's all he said. And he said, that's enough. I know that you're saying to me, we'll see you on the 28th. And he said he picked me up from the station and carried my case. And that was enough for Bronstein as an endorsement. If you can understand that, you're a better man than me, Gungadin, but that's what he said. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you very much again, James.
Okay, we've got a choice of games here, people. There's one which is a county match, where I was black in a Caro can, where my opponent played a very peculiar third move. It was a sort of technical opposite coloured bishop endgame. It goes on for 76 moves. Or alternatively, there's a Queen's Gambit accepted against Jonathan Sachs of Godalming, which is again it's quite a nice endgame, but it's a bit shorter.
Do the county game.
The county game. You sure?
Yes, I'd like to see the third move.
All right,
was
then.
it?
Yeah, you got me after Caro Can, so yeah.
What
agreed.
county match was this then?
It's Hampshire against Buckinghamshire on the 10th of October 2015.
Right.
I'm black. Richard Simmons of Buckinghamshire is white.
It did
All right,
look-
E4, C6, Knight C3, D5, Queen F3.
Oh, this is a recognised line.
That's more normal.
Is it?
Well,
There's a booklet about this. John Upham claims to have refuted it himself. And well, no, what he's come up with is amazing. But I can't, for the life of me, conjure it up. I can't remember. But this is called the Warren H. Goldman variation. Anyway.
Oh, you
All right.
you played D4 now.
You can do, but I wanted to stick to something I was more familiar with.
There's a little trick here. If D4, what should white play?
Bishop C4.
Thank you, the audience. Yes. Not the end of the world, but it's not quite what.
Yeah, we'd have to
No,
close
you're-
in the bishop, wouldn't
You're
we? Yeah.
probably obliged to play this.
Yes.
Not sure about knight h6, and you're a bit
Yeah.
passive.
No, I
Knight
don't like.
h6. Well, that blows the whole system out the water.
Well, you never know.
It's almost the equivalent of pirate radio. Right. Okay.
So pawn takes pawn.
Yep.
Right, take.
Knight
And that's
takes.
why you played knight d7.
Yep, because he was. Yeah, it makes sense now. I'm sorry about that. So D4. Knight GF6. Bishop G5.
Hmm.
I don't like this at all for white.
Well, he's probably thinking I'll just play E6, but that I thought, no, I'll try to be clever here, and I played Queen A5 check.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Queen A5, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's me trying to be clever with the one-click thingy.
So he goes back to D2 with the bishop.
Mhm.
So I decided before I played Queen A5 that I'd be going to D5 in this position. So that's what I did.
Ooh.
Right.
So I think I'm quite close to equality already here.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's 175, you know, he's not a bad player.
Do you think he was belittling? Do you think he was deliberately trying to provoke you with a second-rate opening?
I don't know.
Because these aren't the moves that, well, they could be the moves of anybody, but you know, it looks like he's having a day out, you know, on the beach with his friends. I mean, I don't know, but I certainly don't know him personally. So,
well, it's still anyone's game, isn't it? Here, basically.
oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
So Bishop D3.
Ooh.
Yeah, he lets me have D4. After some thought, I decided, well, I'm going to have it.
Yeah, again, that.
Attacking the big one.
Bishop C3.
Yeah, Bishop C3. Yeah.
Well, black is still. I think he's trifling with you.
Queen B6. Pretty much forced.
Mm.
And Knight E2 now.
you could have gone back to D5 though.
I could, but
Yeah.
I'm not threatening anything by going to D5, so I thought B6 was a little bit safer. Gave me a few more options.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might stick the rook on d1 and
Yeah.
harass the queen a bit more.
now I took on e4. He uses the bishop. And knight f6. Bishop d3. And then bishop g4. Well, now I have equalized, definitely.
I think you're winning.
I might not be winning yet.
Well,
but
you're
I'm
a pawn up, man.
I was quite pleased, yes.
You're such a materialist, James.
I know, I can't help it. It's deprived.
But I think I agree. I don't think White's got enough compensation somehow.
Well, it's slightly better developed. But
Mm,
Yeah.
You probably might prefer it. The queen was on a sensible square.
mm.
Well, she goes to g3.
Right. So he's threatening bishop. Is he threatening bishop takes knight? I can't work it out now. I've said that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I just
G4,
take on
bishop
e2. I just take
Yeah.
on e2, yeah.
Yeah. True. True.
That's what I did.
Oh, did this happen?
Yeah, bishop e2. Bishop takes
Oh,
e2.
that's interesting. Yes.
You
Oh,
might
it's
be
your
able-
go, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be able to play
Bishop
h5.
takes.
Yeah.
Sorry, just before that, Tim, I'm just wondering, rather than bishop takes, what about h5? And
Yeah, that's
just
what I
get the
thought.
queen a little bit
Yeah.
worried.
I never considered that, to be honest.
Hmm.
You can push on, can't you?
I thought he could always go to e3 if
No, he's got bishop f6 here.
Okay.
but it does this. I don't like it what it does to my structure here.
I think bishop takes, e takes. I think it's looking very good.
Queenside castle.
Mm.
Queenside castle.
Yeah, that can do the same.
Mm.
But he's got f3,
Oh dear, I think this is looking a bit.
rook e1, rook e1 maybe.
Given White's cavalier attitude earlier on, I think this is what he would have wanted.
And bishop d6.
Yeah.
Naturally, I thought Black was winning all the way through. I wouldn't presume to have thought otherwise.
Because you've got g5 coming as well.
He's going to have to go to e3, isn't
No,
he?
you can play bishop bishop f5 here.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey,
Hey?
Well,
Yeah.
bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's quite nifty.
I don't know. I mean, rook takes rook.
I don't
oh,
know, f2's hanging, but
Yeah.
go back a bit. Didn't you play queen?
we got queen b4.
So White to go here. Or have I gone
Go
back
through
too
that
far?
variation again.
Well, bishop
It's not very
f5.
good. It's better for Black.
Yeah. Bishop takes bishop. Not entirely forced, incidentally. In fact, not forced at all. Supposing we move the king up to c
Oh, king c7.
king c7.
I was
This is
looking
murky.
at one point, I was looking at queen c5 for black. After bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop.
Knight f4.
oh
That's
yeah.
no good. This is good for Black.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Rook takes bishop, which is not convincing. So yeah, okay. So maybe queenside castling is justified
Mhm.
by Black. Sorry, by Black.
He's pretty windy, isn't he? But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but with bishop d6 coming in,
Well, maybe play h3 here.
as suggested.
No, bishop d6.
d6 anyway.
Hasn't got many squares, has he?
No, it's probably obliged to play a f4, which isn't. No, which doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all. Yeah.
Mm.
Why doesn't it work? Because you can.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I completely miss. Yeah, maybe it does work in a sense. Sorry, I'd misspoke, as they say. I don't know. Well, bishop takes knight. Isn't black still a pawn up? Admittedly.
Followed by
It's opposite
G5.
coloured bishops now. You can see why I didn't like this.
After G5, I
We're
don't
not
know
so much of a
what
pawn up anymore now because of it being doubled. So you can see why I didn't like this.
Yeah.
I think rather than bishop takes knight, you would just move your bishop back to e6, and I think black is looking very good here.
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah.
The G5 is going to be a threat sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then if that pawn goes, you stick your bishop on E5.
What about bishop takes knight? Bishop takes bishop, and then queen. Queen C7.
What, hit the pawn?
Yeah, queen C7.
Well, he's got the pawn on G7 though.
Do we mind?
I just wonder if G5 is better.
Mm.
Oh, G5.
G5. Because we want to get our bishop on E5.
G5 looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Mm.
Does in this instance.
Otherwise,
Because the
with
queen
queen
is on
C7, the G pawn is hanging.
Isn't he forced to play one of the rooks to F1 now?
Yeah,
Well, you're going to win the queen next move.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Bishop
thinking.
takes pawn.
He's got to play rook d6 here.
How does that save him?
Well, it takes the bishop.
Oh, yeah.
Pawn
Give up
takes
the exchange.
g5.
oh,
Hmm.
oh, sorry.
But now you can
Yes.
get queen into D4.
Rook D1.
No,
Yeah,
bishop
rook D1.
d3.
Bishop D1. Isn't it? I don't think that quite works, but I'll probably end up playing it knowing me.
Oh yeah, rook d1.
Rook E1.
D1.
Yeah, queen d4, rook d1.
Oh yes, rook D1. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you've
this
got to play
rook's,
rook D8 first, haven't you?
yeah. Yeah, so White's getting a lot of pawns for the exchange, I guess. Well,
Keep taking.
one pawn. I don't know, we've come a long way down this line.
Yeah, I'd still rather be black.
Yeah, I think I would.
Well, the game's going to be a disappointment after that, I'm afraid.
So, sorry, what was the actual position,
Instead
Tim?
of H5.
After that, he's aged
the knight.
over. Tim's probably.
H5
gone
is
home.
interesting. Mm.
I just took the knight. I gave up my bishop. I thought that bishop isn't that great a piece. Well, I like my dark square bishop in this position. So
Yeah, and this knight isn't bad by any means. Yeah.
Bishop takes bishop. You win the black bishop, the knight.
so I did play knight e4 now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so queen f3. He hasn't got anything too exciting.
No, he's got a.
I take the bishop. Queen takes. So we've got the opposite coloured bishops now, that as promised.
Okay.
And
E6.
I do play e6, yeah.
With a threat.
Bishop B4.
Three
Castle,
castles
Yeah.
to answer that.
Which way?
King side,
Mm,
queen b4.
okay.
I thought about that for quite a while actually, and what I liked about this was even though it's
He's forced to exchange it, is he?
well, it's a wonderful queen's come off actually. I don't think they are swapped off just here, but
You were there at the time, weren't you?
yeah, well, I've got the score sheet in front of me.
What's he playing? Queen E5?
He goes to f3 again. So he doesn't want to swap queens.
I thought G3 really to keep that bishop on that square.
Don't want to take that pawn, I don't think.
Mm.
So I just go to E7 with the bishop. I can finally get it out. C3.
You didn't want to go to D6.
Oh, in this instance, no.
Okay.
Queen B6. I'm refusing B2. Rook FD1. Castle's king side, as I have to. If I'm going to castle. B4.
Why did he not move his rook down to D7?
Good question. I think I just intended bishop F6, and then I could play rook D8 afterwards, because I still got the queen covering that. That's what my thinking was.
I think he wants complexity and complications rather than
soundness. Yes.
Well, he knows you're. Come on, Tim. He knows you're a good player, and you've handled the game as as well as it can be.
You might just be able to take this pawn as well.
Yeah,
he doesn't have rook B1 in reply.
That's true.
And it looks good for him. Taking
Queen D3, Queen D3 might be better.
Yeah, but I've got to defend the bishop. So maybe he was worried about this. I don't know.
That's another possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he played B4. I just played rook FD8, normal. Bishop C4. I don't totally understand that move. I suppose it's not doing anything on E2, but as you can see, it's biting on granite.
Yeah.
Bishop F6 looks good.
Bishop F6, yeah. So you starting to ask him questions now. Now you play G3.
Okay, no back ramp mates for you. Yeah.
At this point, I swap rooks. Yeah, rook takes. Rook D8.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it simple here because he's obviously trying to mess around with me.
Keep the queens on. He's got to keep the queens on.
But he plays rook D3 here. Now, I was quite pleased with my next move because I didn't just whip them off. I played A5.
Oh, yeah, that's a thought.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, he played A3 to defend. And then queen to C7. Not sure that's correct. I'm thinking, what am I thinking now? I'm probably thinking of swapping rooks and playing queen E5, but I'm a bit worried about the back rank. But probably thinking along those lines.
Yeah, you want to, ideally you want to play G6 at some point, but you can't, can you?
Not at the moment, no. So king G2. What have I got here? Rook D6. So I'm just that queen C7 probably wasn't the best because now I'm just trying to swap them off, I think. So yeah, I apologize for this part of the game. That probably wasn't very well played.
Why don't you just swap the rooks now and play?
Well, he plays queen D1 now, so I have to swap them now.
So Tim, what about queen C4? Does that do anything or?
Queen F4.
Sorry, F4. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I probably would have.
Probably
would have.
Because moving the pawn on doesn't look, good for you.
Got to play E5 here.
E5 is possible and possibly necessary. Yeah.
No,
But
you
you got
can't
rook
move your
D7
bishop.
instead of move.
So, sorry, Julian.
Could have played rook D7 is the alternative.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Or bishop E7.
Yeah.
I think he's got you on the run. If all the moves are very easy to find on both sides.
I probably didn't. I probably wasn't going to play E5 because now his bishop's starting to make a nuisance of itself.
Yeah, let's look at rook D7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd never.
Queen takes C7, rook C7, pawn takes A5.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I don't think I played that part of the game very well.
That's not good, is it?
but yeah,
Right.
you got King E7. King E7 is possible.
Don't beat yourself up. You did all right, for goodness sake.
Well, he could have had a draw, as we. I think we can establish that.
Well,
I didn't-
on E5, kind of gets in the way of your bishop and opens his bishop. But on the other hand,
Queen F5. Well, Queen F5's here, possible here.
oh, Queen F5.
Then if you take on D3, you got Bishop D3.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Well, H6 and
Yeah.
let him chase me.
It can beat Lynn, can't it?
Yeah, yeah. Queen D8 maybe.
So we don't like E5, or it takes a lot.
Now you can play rook takes rook, queen takes rook.
And then he's
Queen
got
E8. Queen C8.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
You've got the words to the draw here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Oh no, you got Queen C8. That's possible.
Yeah, but the queen's come off. It's just going to be a draw.
Mm.
Don't like that E5 move.
No, I was just trying to avoid. Well, the other way of defending the rook, then, if rook D7, if we don't like rook D7, is this move.
I just
we're
thought,
still in the pin somehow, you know.
If I remember the game rightly, I thought I hadn't seen Queen F4, and I was trying to sweat a bit. He played Queen D1 quite quickly, and I thought, phew, I got away with it.
So when did we play Queen F4 there? Queen D1 was played.
So I just swapped rooks off. He takes the Queen, yeah. Now G6.
Okay.
So so I've got away with it now. So yes, we found a hole in both sides play. So Bishop B3. Queen E5. A little bit risky, but I thought the bishop was going to be on pre if I took on C3, so he wouldn't be able to hurt me. So he plays C4, and I think it says Queen B2 here. Oh yeah, I fought for a while over that. It looks a quite ambitious move.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
All credit to you for not popping out.
So he just takes my A pawn here. I wonder if that's the best move.
Well, how else did he defend his A pawn?
Good question.
Because if he moves the bishop, you just take twice on B4.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably quite a good move, that one at least. So pawn takes pawn.
Yeah.
Queen takes A3.
And then the bishop.
So he plays Queen to F3. And I don't take the pawn straight away. I play King G7, which is a good idea because my bishop's on pre.
Yeah, well spotted.
Queen D1.
Is that the third time he's moved it? That's maybe in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was starting to feel optimistic here. Queen takes A5.
Right, okay.
So we're 2 pawns up now.
2 pawns up, and you can easily create a pass pawn as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So
I think this is difficult to defend, actually.
It is, yeah. But we'll rifle through it because we're only about halfway now.
Okay.
So Queen D7. Queen to b4. Queen to d3. And then I play b5, yeah. And there goes my pawn. Pawn takes pawn. And I captured with the queen.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Yep.
Yes, it is interesting.
Yeah. So did he swap the queens?
You can't really.
Not yet, not yet, no.
Okay.
Bishop c4.
I don't.
Queen to b7 I played.
Ooh.
Queen to e4. Queen to c7. And he came out with h4 then.
Okay.
So I've been forced back a bit. So maybe I should have taken with the pawn on d5. I don't know.
I don't know. Don't know, Tim.
Yeah, probably I should have done.
The queen looks a little passive on c7, but
It does, doesn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure where else to put it, to be honest.
So I play c5 here.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm starting to get back on track. Queen to f3. There's no really constructive moves for white.
No, it's just got to wait.
Bishop d4.
I played Queen d7. H5.
Why not Queen e4, getting the queen into the centre?
Well, Queen d4.
There?
You mean e5, yeah?
No,
You meant E5.
Sorry, I meant e5. I beg your pardon. I meant e4. Anyway.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm headed for d4, so
Mhm.
so I'm going to pester his bishop and try to get the pawn going.
Yes, quite.
So Queen d7.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. He played h5 here. How did I respond to that? I just played Queen d4. And then Bishop a2.
Mm.
And
c4.
I appear to have taken his h pawn here. I'm not sure about that move.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Perhaps you had a nightmare that h6 might win the bishop if the queen went onto a white square.
If h6 just wins the bishop. Oh, I see. The queen's defending it. Yeah, I'm trying to get my queen moving. That's it. I'm trying to play something like queen to a4 perhaps. So yeah. So I need to get rid of that pawn. So I played pawn takes pawn. Queen takes pawn.
Oh,
It doesn't look right. I've no idea.
I
Kate.
don't like that at all.
No, Tim, I don't understand that.
Couldn't you have just ignored it?
Or moved it on.
Oh, he's got c4 here.
I've got c4. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're losing. I'm just saying it's a different game. It's your. Well,
I thought I was perfectly safe because he hasn't got any checks basically now. Everything's covered.
We've
Yeah.
got Bishop b1.
Bishop b1's threatening, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh,
not. You
right.
got Queen d5.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you play c4, Tim?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did play Bishop b1.
He did.
Yeah.
No, he took off.
I'm pleased to report Queen. I did play Queen to d5 check. Yes.
Yeah, exchange of queens.
He's grudging about solving queens. He goes to f3.
Well, he's got to. He can't give you two connected pass pawns. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, even if it is opposite coloured bishops, I think it must be excellent winning chances for black. Probably winning. Yeah.
I swapped queens. We're on move 50 now.
Okay.
Bishop d4. Just keeping an eye on f2.
Mhm.
Was it 2 hours for all your moves?
Yep. Yeah, but I like this kind of technical, boring stuff, you know. My strength. So g4. I decided to play h6, which is a good idea.
Yeah, Looks it.
King to G3. Heading away from my pawn.
Yeah, yeah.
That probably wasn't best. King to F6, just heading towards the center.
Do you have tried to stop F4?
He plays F4 now.
No, I meant prior, with the queen, with the king on that. Instead of playing your king up, could you play D5? I don't know.
Leaves slightly weak light squares. He's got a perch on E4 now.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
I want to keep your options open. Usually is best, even at this stage.
You're telling
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I mean, all of these pawns are a bit stymied now, aren't they? So it's all depending on this pawn. If you do play like that. So with the pawn back on E6, you might be able to force through F5 if you need to.
So yeah, F4. He wants to swap pawns. I say King E7. I'm heading going the long way round here. King F3. King to D6. King to E4. King to C5. And then bishop C2. And here I played bishop F6. Yep. Agree with that. King E3.
Did he at any time suggest a draw?
Looks like it.
I didn't offer him a draw, no.
I know you didn't. Did he offer?
That would be bad manners, 2 pawns down, I think.
Doesn't stop people though. Never stop me.
I was about to say that. Thank you, Colin, for that.
Okay, we're nearly there now. So, yeah, King B4. King D2.
Still needs winning.
I play bishop C3 check here. I must have been very keen to get rid of him from D2 because that's the only thing that move does, I think. So he played King E2. Oh yes, I played F6 now. So I'm just getting ready to create another pass pawn.
Just toying with him.
He played F5.
Oh.
I played E5. Yeah, that F6 was a good move because it stops him swapping pawns now.
Yeah, yeah.
Running out of moves.
So King E3. It's just technique now. King A3.
Ooh.
King E2.
Oh.
King B2.
Sorry. Now slip.
King D1. And we're nearly there now. So so yeah, I played bishop A5. And he's struggling for moves here. So he played, he didn't resign yet. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, I've made a mistake. If we could go back a couple of moves. After King D1, I actually went to B. Yeah, I went to B4, not A5. I've jumped a few moves.
Okay.
So bishop E4. Yeah, there's a bit of messing around here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, this isn't easy. This isn't easy still, is it?
King C3. King E2.
Yeah, it's better to. So in a way, your game plan, forgive my ignorance, but would be to start to attack the pawns rather than shepherd your pawn to glory, which it can't promote yet, can it?
Well, I actually overload overload him with the 2 passed pawns, even though there's not much width between them. So I was quite pleased with the finish. So where did we get to? King B2, King D1. Then that's when I played Bishop A5.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. He's got to give way with either bishop or king now. Oops.
Yeah, he played Bishop.
So that's Sun Zone.
He
Yeah,
played Bishop C2.
right.
And now what?
Now what? I played. What did I play here? Bishop C2, King C3.
Yeah.
I'm still not quite sure how to finish him off.
No, I'm struggling.
You want to play Bishop C3?
That might have been better, actually.
Oops.
There's certainly words. It looks like you know what you're doing.
Can you shift the king
Even though
over?
you do.
Yeah, now you play Bishop D4.
Let's just oscillate. Bishop there and there.
I'm a bit worried about King D2. Oh, wait a minute.
Bishop E6, Bishop E6, E3 now.
Fine.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One in the eye for him. Now.
Now the king can come back to D4, can't it? Because the king can never go to D2 or C1. It looks like you know what you're doing, Tim, but it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, it's quite similar to that, the actual game, actually.
Now you've got to get your king to D4.
Yeah,
King D4.
I think I did do that, yeah.
So going back, so King C3.
Yep, Bishop A4, probably not the best.
Okay,
King to D4.
right. Okay.
So now I've finally done it. Bishop to E8.
By George, he's done it.
King to E3.
Oh, so that's why he went there, to try and put his bishop there. That's a bit unconvincing. Okay. Yeah.
King to C2.
Actually, you can play E4, can't you? It's a
Yeah,
nice-
we've got to make progress, otherwise.
King
Well,
F4.
Well, yeah, King F4 surely wins, doesn't it?
Oh,
Played King F3, it says here.
Oh, or F3, yes. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got Bishop A5, H5.
Yep, that's what he
yeah,
played.
that's great.
But that's what we
Yeah,
want.
but now the E pawns.
Now his bishop's
Well, you can't allow
completely out of the
G4
game.
check.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, but
Should have played
Yeah.
King F4.
I played King
F4 would have
F2
been
here.
better.
Went to F2 here.
Oh, to F2. Okay, nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's clever.
I think
Nice.
I've done it now.
I think that's
Yeah.
clever.
Bishop F7. C3. Not having that yet.
And it's all over. There's nothing left. He can't.
Sorry. Yeah, C3.
King. Oh, what have I done?
You can't allow King D3.
I
You can, because you can play check. Yeah, okay.
King D3.
King D3, E4 check.
Yeah, that's what I should have played.
Oh, E4 check, clever.
I'm afraid I played King G3 instead. I mess around a bit here.
But it's all right.
Bishop H5.
Then,
King F4.
no, you've gone back to the square you should have gone in the first place.
Probably. Yeah. King C2. E4.
Yeah.
King D1. King E3.
Yeah, finally got him. King E3.
oh, fine.
You could have played E3 perhaps,
Yes,
Yeah.
you could.
but it
I'm
doesn't
going to be
matter.
ultra careful here.
Okay.
Bishop F7.
Because of G5 check.
King F2.
Yeah.
Bishop C4. E3. Bishop D3.
Mm.
So
E2 check.
he thinks he's holding both pawns,
E2.
but
E2.
he isn't.
Oh, E2.
Yep.
I think it's more accurate actually. Bishop takes his forced, yeah.
He resigns.
He resigned, okay.
After E2 check.
So bishop takes pawn, C2 check wins.
Interesting, you never promote those pawns. You give them both away, but then win, of course.
Yeah, very nice.
Very good.
How many moves was that?
That's good to win an opposite coloured pawn ending, bishop ending, sorry.
How many moves, Tim? Sorry?
76.
Wow.
Very patient.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, I think it was difficult to see how you did it, but you did it, and maybe not 100% accurate, but it didn't matter. You were being cautious and getting it right in the end, so that's all that matters.
Can you remember how much time you had left?
Yes, that's interesting. How much time did you have left?
I had, I can't remember exactly. It must have been about 10 minutes. Because I messed around a bit. So it did cost me time on the clock. So I must have had about 10 minutes left.
You wouldn't have wanted to only have a few minutes left with that kind of finish, actually.
No, but nor with the defender either, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. If your opponent's got time, if you haven't, then it's very difficult to do that.
Well, I think all credit to you.
Yeah. Good game. Thank you very much, Tim.
Okay.
And you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Good. Mark, I think you had something, unless somebody else has got anything else.
No, we want to see a Camberley Tresco player duffing up a grandmaster, I think.
He didn't say
Okay.
Did he say he won?
Yeah, I won.
Wow. Okay.
And here's the proof. I kept the proof. I was so pleased. So now I did say I beat the grandmaster, and I didn't say at what. As James noted. So anyway, sorry, I need to share my screen. So let me do that.
Was it Scrabble?
Go.
Drafts.
Right.
Those are difficult games. Don't knock it if it was.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
A puzzle battle.
Oh,
Yeah.
She was disconnected.
No, that just said that when I quickly ran around the house, having unplugged my laptop to show my wife that I'd won. So it wasn't.
You went 5,786 times around the house.
Did that impress her much?
No, but for those of you that don't know what this is on chess.com. Basically, you have 3 minutes each to complete as many puzzles as you can. They start off with one movers and they get increasingly difficult near the end. You're allowed 3 mistakes, as you can see. She made a mistake on her last attempt, which gave the game to me. It's the rankings, the ratings there are the ratings for Puzzle Battle. So you can see that I've played people over 2,000 before. We know that this is the Grandmaster because there are a few people who've set themselves up as Magnus and so on, but you only get the little titles next to your name if you are the real person. And her real name is Marina Macropoulos, I think.
She in a macro.
Yeah, and so that's it. I would recommend Puzzle Battle, by the way, for those of you that haven't. It's very good at getting your pattern recognition going, and you really get into the swing of things for the first few. And I honestly do think that some of the mating patterns I've learned have helped me in over the board chess. If you have a basic membership, I think you're allowed to do 5 of these a day, or an intermediate membership. I decided to go unlimited partly because I got addicted to this, and so there you go. It was interesting, by the way, just about her. She's now, despite the photograph, she's about 60 years of age, and so she's past her prime. So it's interesting to see that she's still doing things like this. I was quite pleased to play her.
What age did you say she was?
She's 60. Doesn't mean the photograph is when she's 60.
Okay.
But,
And you're not able to show us how you beat her at Puzzle Battle then?
No, I mean, you know, I can't replay those games, unfortunately.
Can you quickly show us Puzzle Battle just to for 10, 20 seconds? That might be useful for me because I've never seen it. I mean, I know chess.com's got all these. I've done all the learning stuff, and occasionally after a game it says you need more help with, I don't know, double bishops or something. So I've had a little go at that, but I've not done Puzzle Battle.
Okay, well, let me.
Have you done King of the Hill?
No, I haven't done that one.
Well, don't. It's the biggest load of rubbish ever.
Puzzle Battle on the right.
Chess.
Can you see this?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, because I'm so obsessed with my ratings, and I wouldn't want to play for 10 seconds and lose my rating. What I suggest I do is. Can
you do it unrated?
No, you can't. So,
okay.
So what I suggest I do is, and I've got to go to. Actually, I'm going to have to just change screens here. So sorry, if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to.
Can you watch a Puzzle Battle there by the look of it or not?
Yes, you. That's
somebody else's. I was just interested to see sort of what happens, or you know.
Yeah, I've just stopped. I think I just stopped sharing?
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to do this.
It's interesting. It's chess.com, among others, have got so many different things, and I mean, I do a few of them, and I'm sure there are so many other things. It's nice to see other things to see whether you want to do them.
I'm just trying to. Just talk amongst yourself for a few minutes, for a few seconds. I know we're running out of time here.
Yeah,
I'm just going to. Okay. Right. I'm just going to try and share again. Share screen. Going to go on to this one.
Can't see the share screen. Ah, yes, I can now.
Okay, and if you don't mind, what I'll do is I'll just run a 3-minute battle, and you can, Martin, you know, once you're bored after a minute or two of it, but you can just watch me whistle away as I get into this one. I'm going to go on mute.
He's gone on mute, so he's going to play. Searching for an opponent. He's taking this seriously, isn't he? I know he can hear me because he's smiling, so we better not. We better not.
Oh, we can bits, can we?
Let's try and help and shout out the moves.
Oh, we could help. We could help. That would be cheating, though, wouldn't it? Oh my word! Oh, I see. Right. So I'll try and commentate. So a puzzle appears. And you've obviously got black to move. You've obviously got to quickly think, is it queen takes knight? Yes, it is. Next puzzle, what the hell is it? It's white to move. So queen there. Yeah, it is. Gosh, this is fast stuff, isn't it? Black to move. No, yeah, that was right.
Who's playing? I don't get who's.
These are puzzles that appear.
I know they're puzzles.
No, he's playing
playing
against an opponent.
Different.
So what is it timed? If you do it quicker than your opponent, you get a point, or
no, the number of points. It's number of puzzles.
Does it alternate, or are they each in different puzzles?
You do yours and he does his. You're having a race.
It's alternating.
But it's the same puzzles you do, yeah.
Same player, alternate puzzles. So Mark got that one right. Black's having a go now, and he got it right. Now it's.
If you get 3 wrongs, but you know that's your loss.
Yeah, he's mentioned that at the beginning. So far, Mark's got 1 wrong. He's got a red cross, and Zavidi has got none wrong. So this is I get this.
Bishop F3.
Bishop H5, rook E8.
Oh, Bishop H5, yeah.
So how come? Oh, he's got 2 wrong now. Oh, this is quite intense, isn't it?
It's very.
Intense. I mean,
Yeah, I've done the puzzle rush, but I haven't done the puzzle battle.
right. So same thing then, is it? But you're playing against.
But puzzle rush is you just do it yourself. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not playing.
Sounds like worth doing the puzzle rush first and get the hang of that, and then try the puzzle battle.
Mm.
Wow, look at that position.
Queen B7.
Queen B2, Queen A1. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Neck and neck.
Oof, blimey.
Rook takes rook. Yeah.
I get that one.
I didn't quite follow that.
Queen takes rook.
One apiece.
Now this is where I'm just going to claim the win.
Queen takes rook.
Rook knight F6.
Boy,
How did you claim the win?
Oh, they've got free wrong.
Yeah.
And just to say here that one of the things you don't do is you don't carry on. For example, if we were 21 each and I had to claim the win and then made some mistakes, it could have been a draw. So you have to sort of half try and keep an eye out on what the other player's doing. But
okay.
yeah, take the win, take the rating points. Sorry, I get a bit serious about these things.
Wow. Well, it's a very good demonstration, even though I couldn't follow all of it. You demonstrated the whole point of it, so that's good.
Yeah, so I think it's really good practice. And if you just do 2 or 3 of those a day, I think that, I honestly think that's helped my chess.
Is that a paid membership then?
I do have a paid membership, but
Okay.
I think at the level I'm at, you can have unlimited games. I think for one of the basic levels, it's you get five a day. So
Okay. I think with the unpaid membership, i.e. you register but you don't actually pay, you get 1 a day puzzle rush. I don't know about the puzzle battle.
yeah, and if you get addicted, I'm sure once you've played one, you'll be frustrated at not playing another.
Well, that's the problem.
And if you play one, you tend to, you're rusty for the first one, and you need to play 2 or 3 to get your brain into that.
I've recently signed up to chess.com. I think it was 25 quid for the year, and it gives you nearly everything. And I thought, I've been playing chess.com for years. It's very good. Why wouldn't I want to give them £2 a month?
Yeah,
fair point. Fair point.
Very good. Excellent.
yeah, very good. Excellent.
Can you choose can you challenge someone that you know on Puzzle Battle? Or,
yes, you can.
just random opponents.
I think you can. You can certainly do that. So.
When do you have the time to do all this?
I'd like to say, I definitely don't do it during conference calls at work, but no, I definitely don't, because I've been distracted. But
it sounds like you've been tempted there.
Yeah, it's quite frustrating that, it's one of these things. If you're in the middle of one of these and the postman knocks at the door, then the postman has to wait. It's terrible.
Or if the wife asks you to do something.
Well, she knows the door's locked and she's not going to come in if I'm on this. So
very good. Yeah, it's good demo. Good demo.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mark.
Right, thank you.
Pleasure.
And thank you to James, if he's still on. I can't see him. Has he gone? He's gone. And Tim as well, and everybody else for coming on.